here's what was going on with me, like in the past, this is all like the past 2 months, right? So I was finding myself journaling on, like, one thing that some of you have seen me do, especially my clients, is manifesting, creating, signing, right? Whatever we want to call it, doesn't matter. These higher end 20K one-on-one clients. Okay. So at first I opened up 8 spots and then I realized that was all about the money. And so I have 5 spots, right? So that's just, we're going to get to the point of this, but that's something a lot of people do, right? So I opened up 8 spots, which was not ever what I wanted. So then I opened up 5 spots, and it took me a good 3 weeks to get even one of these clients to manifest. And if something's taking you weeks, it's okay. Like, it's normal for things to take time, but they don't have to. So I think it's interesting. It's an interesting that happens. We're going to talk about that too. But anyway, it took me a good 3 weeks to make this happen. And so I found myself journaling, like, the perfect 5 clients happen by the end of next week. The next client signs up today, like very specific, right? Like, I make this much money by this date. So here's the thing. I'm not saying this is wrong because a lot of people teach this and it's worked for me at times, but what it's done for me a lot and what I see it do to my clients a lot, like all the time, is when that doesn't happen. So let's say you're journaling, I make $5,000 by Friday, right? And so now it's Friday and you're like, I made no money. Okay, I guess I did something wrong. Okay, I guess this doesn't work. Okay, I guess maybe that's not the right goal. Maybe this isn't aligned, all that stuff, right? And usually there is some unalignment piece to it. But here's what I've been thinking about this, and I'll tell you exactly what I've done, is like, we put so much pressure on like one way of things happening and like one outcome being the right outcome. And something that's like a message I've been getting and something that's clicked with me lately is just like, that's kind of laughable. So like this image that I can see, or this thing that I can imagine happening, is like the universe like laughing at me. Like, are you joking me right now that you have to have this outcome to be happy, and the only way that it can happen to you is through this thing happening by this date? Like, that's funny, bye. Right? That's what I felt like was happening. And so I've been going back to what I used to do in the beginning of my journey and going a little almost broader and almost smaller. So bear with me. You guys, we're ambitious, we're big thinkers here, so bear with me. I've been thinking about affirmations, or whatever the hell you want to call it, of like, so one thing I started saying was, the perfect fit clients who are ready to invest come at the perfect time. Okay. Now, in the past like 6, maybe, I think it's been 6 weeks, I've signed 4 of those 20K clients, right? And all of them are like amazing. None of them I had to have this like pushy sales conversation, or like, you know, there's a conversation to be had and it's scary for them to invest. So of course there was a conversation, but none of it felt like me pushing, me reaching out to get people on the phone, me like spending all this time on calls. Like, some of these people have signed up without even a call. So very interesting. And I have quite a few people who are kind of in the funnel, right? That are like really interested, that we're having conversations right now. And so what this does for me is it makes it like a lot lighter and not so serious. And there's less disappointment, because when you can truly believe that you are going to get, I mean, this could be a perfect affirmation. Like, I get exactly what I need at the exact right time. I get exactly what I need at the exact right time. Oh my God, it takes so much of the pressure off. Hey Jade, thank you. I know, I really like this. I never have worn this color really before that I can ever remember. Besides the one other day I've worn this shirt. Yeah, so I don't know. That kind of thinking for me right now, and for a lot of my clients right now, feels really good. And it feels like a lot less pressure. And if you can trust in that, and I really believe that you can, and I believe maybe there is a time to get specific, and if any of you are like really like into manifestation and you've had other experiences, or you've had the same experience, feel free to share. Even if it's opposite, I would love to hear. I think it's really interesting. But for me right now, and I think that's what is important, is finding what works for you right now. it felt so good to just know that the perfect clients come at the perfect time all the time, you know? And you know what's so interesting is that, and not all of these are good, I've had many people ask me like what else is available, what we can make happen. I've had many people who are working on funding for the program. I've had multiple people sign up for the program. And like, it's just interesting how all these different opportunities have shown up. And obviously, just because someone asks you, like, do you have any other way to work with you privately, that doesn't always mean it's a good thing, but sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. But it's when you let go of you knowing the right way and the right timing, it's interesting what you finally allow the universe to give you and to bring into your life. I feel like that's what I've been seeing. And I've been seeing this in a lot of other ways as well. Hey, Alex. And I'll tell you another example. So I was feeling like, so some of you saw my Instagram story yesterday. Some of you have been kind of seeing what's going on. Can't really talk about this at the moment, but like, there's been kind of this shitty situation going on with like a friend, and I've been getting really like impatient and aggravated with a couple things. Like, okay, if you watch my Instagram story, yesterday I was really aggravated at this weird financial friend bullshitty situation. And this has been going on for a few weeks, so it's like, it's been building up. And then, you know when you get really pissed off about something and you're just so over it, and then everything else is annoying? That's what happened. Okay, and you know, even yesterday I worked on this one and it already fixed itself and it already manifested. And so I was just saying, this is what I said, things are always working out for me and my life is very easy. My life gets to be easy. I forget exactly how I worded it. I think I said gets to be easy. That feels believable because a lot of things have worked out for me and I can see things working out for me every day. Some things seem like they're not at times, but when you can think of something like that that you can get behind, it just starts happening. So today, guys, yesterday, my dogs had a total of 5, possibly 6 accidents in the house. Do you know how freaking annoying that is? Now some of you are probably like, okay, Taylor, like TMI. Then I'm pissed off at this financial situation where I felt like I was just getting screwed over, and then all the other times in my life I've ever been walked over and like whatever were coming up. And that whole situation was fixed overnight. And then today the dogs have been perfect. And then today I had an appointment to get my fridge fixed and they canceled this morning. And I found myself kind of angry and I was like, you know what? This is actually perfect. Obviously things are always working out. Like because I had to block out 5 hours. You know how service people are, right? I had to block out 5 hours in my calendar to just sit around and wait for this guy to come fix my fridge. And I'm like, actually, this is great because now I have the whole entire day, nothing else in my day that I have to do. And I can just like spend the whole day on me and my business and like nothing else, right? And then I ended up just hopping on chat with the fridge people. This is kind of weird. And they gave me a huge discount on it, which is not really even for me. It's great for my landlord. An even better time was found for next week. Like it worked out totally fine. But if I would have like, let's say I was for some reason really trying to manifest this fridge thing. Like if I would have put so much pressure on that and then today it didn't work, it would be so hard not to feel like, oh, I must be manifesting wrong, or oh, maybe this isn't meant to be, or maybe it's not meant for me to have a well-working fridge. A little bit silly, but like, do you get what I mean? The same thing happens in our business with clients and stuff. Hey, Megan. So yeah, Paige, I saw you do a live stream, I think yesterday. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw you talking about the how. I so agree. And it's so hard to let go of that. And it's so hard to feel like, and I even find myself struggling with this right now. So even doing this live stream, I'm like, someone's going to get on this live stream and they're going to say, or they're going to think that I'm wrong. And they're going to say, you need to be specific and all of that. And I think, I really do believe, and I will be honest, I have not mastered this completely, obviously. I really do believe you can decide what you get. And I think you can manifest that. Like I've seen people do that, right? But for me, it's like, here's where I think this is useful, guys. If you're not sure you're in alignment, right? So you heard what I said before. I said I wanted 8 clients. I said I was going to manifest 8 clients. I didn't want 8 clients. You guys know that. If you've heard me ever talk about what my situation with one-on-one clients and how many I like to have, you guys know I like to have 4 or 5 clients. But I was thinking, oh, well, that money has to come from here, and that's the easiest, quickest way and like it has to work out this way and whatever, right? And the universe is just like, huh? This is laughable. This is hilarious. Like, let's just turn this into a whole comedy movie. Like, the thing is that signing 20K clients and redoing I've been going through such big shifts in my business and my life and internally, and just like Taylor is changing, right? So sometimes I feel like I don't even know what's in alignment, right? Do any of you guys ever feel like that? Like you're like, I don't even know what I want. That's been like a huge struggle for me in my business. And there's moments where I'm like, oh yeah, I want that and I want it to happen this way, and I feel really confident in that. But I think a lot of us here can agree that we've struggled with knowing if we're in alignment or what we even want. I hear it all the time. I don't even know what I even want, right? I've said it a million times. So when you have like the intentions like this of the perfect fit clients who are ready to invest, show up at the perfect time, and that things are always working out for you and that your life gets to be really easy. My eye is like, I feel like I don't know. Never mind. I feel like my eye is dying, and that's really weird to say. Okay, anyway. Then you don't even have to worry about being in alignment because the perfect number of clients are going to show up, right? So I had this number for my course that I got like really attached to. And if I hit this number, it means that I would have sold the most amount of spots in a program that I've ever sold. So to me, it's competing with myself. My accountant said that the other day. She's like, oh, so you're competing with yourself. That's perfect. I'm like, yeah. But then something about it, there's two things. One, maybe that's not the right number. I don't know if I really want that many people in a course. And two, I felt fear. Like, okay, what if that many people don't sign up? What does that mean? Is this course not worth it to run? Was it not good enough? Is it not what I'm supposed to be talking about? Like, that kind of stuff already started showing up, like literally the day I picked my goal. So now with the course, I just know the perfect people are going to be in it. And I know they're going to buy at the perfect time for them. And I know the course is going to be amazing. And I know it's everything I want to teach. There's nothing in there where I'm like, that's going to be a module to like survive. Like, I'm so excited to just teach it. And I don't even care if anyone else joins. Like, I'm so excited to just talk about that to the women that are in there and share this even with my private clients. But just trusting that the perfect number of people are going to buy and it's just going to be fine feels so much better. And I really do believe that by doing this and thinking like this, this isn't about, it's kind of thinking smaller, but it's really just taking the pressure off. If I am meant to double my income this month, I will. As long as I stay focused and I do the work and I stay in alignment and I take care of myself, right? I will double my income. If I'm not meant to right now this month, whatever. I know I'm going to make the amount of money I'm supposed to make. It just feels so much better. And none of this is about really thinking smaller or making less. Like, this is how you can up level right now today. So what I want you to do, and I have some other fun things to talk about, but that I've been doing as well and that I've used my whole like journey of my business. But homework I would love for you to do is just like, what are you trying to manifest right now? What goals do you have that feel really tight, constricted? You're not even sure if it's even what you want, and that have a lot of fear and pressure around them. Turn them into these kinds of statements. And if you guys have any examples, if you feel stuck, if you feel like, but I really want this to manifest and it's not, or I have a lot of fear going around something specific, feel free to comment and I can help you reframe that live. Or if you're launching something right now and you feel stuck with it and you want some guidance on maybe what you're meant to be doing with it, maybe what you need to change or strategies, comment. A lot of people don't like to open up live on live stream, but if you want to, I will coach you through it right now live, okay? What I'm laughing at is Jax is right here right now, my miniature husky, and he is tearing apart a toy. And then he just walked up to me and he took the slipper that I was wearing and just took it and like walked it into the hallway, dropped it in the hallway, and then walked back. Like, you don't get both of your slippers. Nope. Thanks. Hey, Tina. Yeah. Manifesting talks. It's been fun. Okay, so let's see what else I have in my notes. Yeah. Cool. I've said all of that. Here's another little thing that I like to do. Another thing that I've done pretty much my whole business, and I don't know how I came up with this, and I don't know how it became such a natural practice and like natural reaction for me, but one thing I naturally do that I think if you can make this a habit of yours, it will be really helpful. Anytime I find myself stressed, so let's say it's the 27th of the month, I think that's the day it is, and you have another $5,000 to make, right? And you're really stressed, and you're like, how is this gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? What if it doesn't? What does this mean? What is going on? What's wrong? And so a lot of the times when that happens, what we wanna do is like retreat, right? And when I say retreat, I mean, that's probably the worst word I could have used. I mean like retreat to our computer, drive ourselves crazy, exhaust all of our energy, force ourselves to stare at the screen for 12 hours, and like not take care of ourselves at all. If you want a successful business, if you want to increase your income, you have to take care of yourself. And that's not a or else thing. That's not a like you can still do really well and not take care of yourself thing. You maybe can for a while, but you will literally die. Like that's the way it was put to me one time. But like it's true. You'll end up in the hospital. You'll end up really sick. You'll end up dead, as in the energy is dead. You can't build your business any further at a certain point. You know, you must take care of yourself. So what am I getting to with this? When you get to a fearful point in your business, and it could be like really fearful of like, oh shit, I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage, or it could be slightly fearful of like, what's wrong with me? I can't up level to the next point. Like I really thought I was going to manifest this or whatever. And you're not taking care of yourself, right? For some reason, fear about money you're going to make and taking care of yourself seem to always collide, and it's really annoying. But it seems like when we're fearful the money's not going to come in, we stop taking care of ourselves, right? We'll take care of ourselves later. We'll treat ourselves to spa day later. It's not even spa day. I've never even had a spa day. It's just like, I mean, come on, you can brush your teeth and take a shower even if you're behind on your money goal, right? Like you can take 30 minutes to journal and get the anxiety out of your body even if you're short on your money goal. So here's a little game I play. I play a game, and Megan and I were talking about this actually. I play a game called, it doesn't really have a name, but I play a game called Wouldn't It Be Cool If, okay? And I have seen, and I can almost guarantee you have too, if you're brand new and you haven't been in this situation before, maybe not, but if you have been in this situation before, I can guarantee that it's been proven to you too. You do not increase your income, you do not bring in more income, you do not hit your goals, and you're not taking care of yourself. So what I do is, you know, like, I haven't really done this today, but for example, wouldn't it be so cool if I got off this live stream and then there was like the perfect discovery call booked with the perfect woman to fill that last spot? That would be freaking cool. And like, I didn't even really talk about it in this, it wasn't like I was, you know, hardcore pitching to you guys to go book a call. Like it just happened coincidentally. Live stream is not necessarily self-care, but sometimes it can be. I really wanted to get on here and talk about this. Or let's say you're like, oh, like, I know I should go to the gym, but I need this sale to come through. Wouldn't it be cool if by the time you got back to your car from working out, you checked your phone and there was the payment from your client, or there was a notification that a call was booked, or whatever, right? Something happened. That would be really cool. And so I like to play this game because one, when it happens, like when it works and when it actually manifests, it's really cool. Like it's really cool and exciting. And I think it's a great way to start practicing manifesting. But I also think it takes the pressure off. So if I get out of the gym and that call's not booked or that payment didn't come through, I'm not like, oh, it didn't work again. What's wrong with me? You know, whatever, right? That doesn't happen as much. Whereas if it does happen, you're like, holy shit, that's awesome. So for me, that's a really fun way to take the pressure off and start actually even discovering things that I really want my life to look like. Hey, don't chew my tripod. Don't chew it. Jax is being a pain. Okay. So That's the game I like to play. So you guys can literally do that right now, right? So if any of you are feeling guilty for watching this live stream, which if you watch every live stream that you come across, maybe you should, but kind of kidding, kind of not. But let's say you're feeling really guilty right now. Let's say you're laying in bed or sitting on your couch, like really comfortable. Your body feels really relaxed. I have to pick this dog up. Come here. Come here. Say hi to the camera. Okay, and you're starting to feel guilty. And you're watching this live stream. And instead of feeling guilty, instead of feeling like, I've got to make this money, I've got to make this work, just think to yourself right now what you want. Wouldn't it be so cool if you got a step closer, or if it happened fully, the payment came through or whatever, by the time you got off this live stream? Because that can happen. And you know what else it does is it starts showing your mind and allowing you to believe that sales and calls booked and payments coming through are not directly related to you sitting at your computer and taking action, but directly related to you being open for them to happen. And I will tell you this, everything I'm talking about today, I think the key is taking all the pressure off as possible, right? So I manifested 2 other really cool things in the past couple of months, and I'll tell you about those. And they were totally no pressure things. And it's so difficult sometimes to use this strategy with money and use it with your business because it can feel impossible to get rid of the stress. And I want to talk about that too. However, some of you saw this happen. I was doing a trip to California with my biz bestie to go to an event. And I remember thinking, no pressure way, no attachment kind of way, it would be so fun and it would be so cool if I flew to Chicago first and then took a flight with my biz bestie Holly, and then we got to fly to California together, right? Well, then I remembered this rule I put on myself. So again, I didn't even say this today, but I say this to myself all the time. No rules. Stop with the rules. But I gave myself this rule that I would never fly layovers again, ever, no matter what. So I forced myself to do that. So I find a flight that's not a layover, and it's 3 times as expensive, right? It was much more expensive. And I sat on it, literally. Like, I sat there with the screen open for a good hour and didn't buy it, and I worried about the money. The whole flight somehow booked out in that time. So when I finally entered the credit card info, it was like, sorry, the flight's been booked, or the flight's full, or whatever. So then I'm pissed at myself, and I'm aggravated, and I'm like, why did you even worry about that? So then I just booked the cheapest flight. You know, like, make myself suffer through it. The flight I booked, I swear to God, I did not notice this until a week or so before the event when I double checked my itinerary, because I was like, I don't even know where my first stop is, which is very common for me, guys. I never pay attention to that. So I booked the cheapest flight, and it just so happened that the first stop, the layover, was in Chicago, the small airport, not even the big Chicago airport, the smaller one that Holly goes to. And the flight that I had from that airport was the exact flight Holly booked. And we had no clue. And it was a very no pressure way. The other thing that I've manifested around travel this month, like just now, is that, hey Jenny, and hey Renee, and hey Melissa. Okay, I was like, wait, who else did I miss? My laptop was on the ground. So I am going to California again, and normal for my mastermind, not my mastermind that I run, but a mastermind that my coach runs, and this is our last event. And normally it's in New York City, which is pretty close to me, so I just stay in a hotel by myself, and I really enjoy that. But all the way across the country in California, I was, I didn't really want to stay by myself. I felt like I'm like all the way across the country, gonna stay by myself, and I was like, and everyone was booking rooms together, and I found and then the one person that I normally do kind of consider rooming with, that she's asked me to room with her before, that we probably totally would have, is not in the mastermind anymore. So, hey Alicia. So I go, I remember thinking, wouldn't it be so fun to stay with so-and-so and so-and-so, these 2 girls who are like best friends. Like, that would be fun. Like, I would love to room with them. And I was gonna ask, but I didn't, because who wants to ask 2 best friends if you can room with them, right? And like, that's intrusive kind of, right? Like, I wouldn't really love if someone did that to Holly and me. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't. And then literally a couple of days later, they go, hey, Taylor, do you want to stay with us? And I never posted anything. I never shared that I was staying by myself, nothing. And they just asked me to stay with them, and they never have before. And it's not really that big of a deal, but isn't it so interesting, right? So now today we're finding our Airbnb. But it was just, I've just been doing this recently, and so it's just realizations I've been having of like, nothing manifests when there's the pressure. Nothing manifests when the universe can see and predict that when it doesn't happen, you're gonna doubt it. And you're gonna think it doesn't work. And you're gonna think that it can't deliver everything that you want, right? Like, if anybody can tell the future, and if anybody's a psychic around here, it's the universe. Do you know what I mean? Like, he, she, it, whatever, I kind of want to call it a he, but whatever. We're going to go with it. He knows. He knows. Yeah. Oh, cool. I'm glad that you guys are loving this. Alicia, I'm going to be in Santa Monica, actually, this time. Last time I was in Santa Barbara. Yeah, Melissa, it was so cool. And this can happen in your business too. And I've been seeing it happen with a couple women who I want to work with, like that I want to be my clients, right? And they're ones that like, there's just no pressure around. It's just like, I would love to work with her. I would love for her to be my client, whatever. And I'm seeing it kind of manifest right now again, but there's no pressure. If she doesn't become my client, or if they or whatever, it's almost as if it's like I would love that, but I don't care. It's like, I feel like that's the feelings we have to have around it. Oh, I'm like, where's my phone? I'm live streaming on it. Duh. So, okay. Alicia, that's really funny that you typed come to mastermind. You totally didn't mean to do that. Isn't that funny how sometimes our minds are slower? Well, wait, our fingers are slower than our minds. Yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to talk about. My eye is like dying. Do you see why you shouldn't spend so much time in front of a screen? Okay. So, and maybe not like with a giant ass ring light in front of your face. So, the other thing I wanted to talk about is like things that kill your ability to manifest, and I think we pretty much covered them. But like the pressure, having pressure on it, and if exactly what you want didn't manifest in the exact right timing that you predicted, not even that you predicted, that you just randomly decided, right? Like, how funny is it too that a lot of us try to manifest things by end of the month or by Friday, right? Like end of the week, Friday. I think a lot of us think like that, even though technically it's not the end of the week. End of the month, right? Like we just pick those random dates, or 30 days or 21 days, right? Like whatever. Like, who cares if it happens in 5 days, 7 days, 21 days, 30 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Like, what if what you wanted, exactly what you wanted, was supposed to manifest in 33 days, but because you put so much pressure on it manifesting in 31 days and then you gave up, it doesn't come to fruition, right? And what if you're watching this live stream because that's the lesson you're meant to learn? The lesson you're meant to learn is that just take the pressure off. Stop making jokes at the universe. Like, the universe is starting to think that we are like full-blown comedians thinking that way, right? It's like, you know, of course, it can give you whatever you want. I was manifesting a ton and now I feel like I'm in a halt. Yeah, and it's probably the pressure thing. Okay. I have some other things I'm going to say about what kills your ability to manifest. Focusing on what you don't want. So that's another thing that happens when you put pressure on 2 clients manifesting in the next 5 days. Like, you're so focused. When you do that, I feel like we're so focused on that not happening. Whereas if you think about the perfect amount of clients happening in the perfect timing and you just trust that, you're not worried about it not happening. It's like it can't not happen. Do you know what I mean? The other thing too is like being iffy about what you want and not deciding. And this happens a lot in your life and it happens a lot in your business. So this can happen with this is a 2-part. It can happen with your goals where I should probably hurry this up because my battery said it was dying like 10 minutes ago. This can happen with your goals where you're thinking like, 1 minute you want 8 clients, 1 minute you want 5 clients, 1 minute you want 6 clients, right? Like I did. And then I had to let go of any number of clients and just ask for the perfect amount. And I still want 5, but maybe it'll only be 4. Maybe it will be 6. I really don't care. As long as it's the amount I'm supposed to have and it doesn't feel stressful and overwhelming and exhausting, and it feels really abundant and fun and exciting, like I'll have 8 at that point if it feels that way. We're all going after the feeling, right? And the other side of it is, and this is what I believe, if you say no to one thing that you want, you can really halt all things that you want. So I've been talking a lot in some of my sales conversations about this, and I 100% believe this. So I'm going to say it. Some of you may disagree. But it's like when you say you really want to hire a coach, okay? And we're not pitching any coaching shit today, so it's not a pitch. But I seriously believe this, and I live by this. It's like when you say you want to hire a coach, but then you say not until you get these clients, or not until this. So there's a couple of things on the board that you want. You want the coach and you want the clients, right? But you're saying no to what you want. And what you want is the coach and clients. So by saying no to the coach right now, you're saying no to the clients right now. And I think this happens in all ways. And I think there's power in saying, there's a couple of ways we could put this. If you really, really want something, then you want it, and you really can't change this. It's like if you really, really want a new shirt or a new makeup product or a coach or a romantic relationship, like it's anything. You really want it, and you need to put your focus on it, and you need to do it, right? But sometimes there's things that what is the truth here? You can decide that you want something later, right? Like you can say, if you truly don't need it right now, if you truly don't want it right now, then you can change that. Then you can say you'll do it later. You can say you feel fully supported. Like if you mean it though, So it's not like, maybe you do, let's say like, this is an easy example. Maybe you do want a Louis Vuitton bag, but is it really killing you not to have it right now? No, right? You're like, I like the purse I have now, I'm fine, like I feel good. But I really do want a Louis Vuitton bag. That's different, because if you got it in 6 months, you'd feel really good. But let's say you were driving a really piece of shit car that made you feel like a piece of shit. Like, bear with me, but you know that feeling, right? It makes you feel poor, it makes you feel gross, it makes you feel embarrassed, and there's nothing wrong with having a piece of shit car, but if it made you feel that way, and you're feeling like that, and you just want a new car so bad, right? So bad. It's like all you can think about. Every time you look at your car, think about your car, need to go somewhere, all you can think about is how good it would feel to be in a new car. Then you need to do everything in your power to get the new car. Because if you say, I can't have the new car right now, you're saying I can't have what I want, right? So what do you do in that situation? You look at all your options, all your opportunities, which could be more clients, it could be a loan, it could be, and here's the thing too, is you don't have to be open to all your options. As in knowing all your options, you get to go, I want a new car, I'm getting a new car, I'm deciding a new car is mine, and I am open to any freaking possible way that can happen. I'm open to getting an unexpected raise, signing clients out of the blue, getting given a free car without even asking, like getting the perfect loan, the down deposit manifesting into my bank account out of thin air. You don't always get to decide how it happens, And once you're open to that, something's gonna happen. I've seen it happen a million times with potential clients, and I've seen it happen with my clients and with myself and my friends and my family, like with so many bizarre things. Alicia, it's crazy how I get clients when I'm not focusing on clients who are ending. Yeah, I know. Knowing that there will always be more clients, knowing my value always brings in more clients. Yeah, because you're not worried. Yes, Danielle, you get it. So that's another one. So my point there was to say, decide what you want and be open to every single way it can happen, even if it's a way you don't want it to, even if it's a scary way, even if it's a way you can't imagine, right? Like you can't say, I want this, but I'm not getting it like this. I want this, but I'm only going to do it if this. Does not work. Does not work. Again, it's a joke. It's literally laughable. Okay. Yeah. changing your goals too much, saying you don't get what you want, focusing on what you don't want. Yeah, I think those are the main things I found really. Oh, and then almost dropped my computer. And then the stress around it. Cool. There wasn't one other thing I wanted to say, but I feel like we're losing momentum here. You guys want to hear it? Or do you guys just want me to get off? Just kidding. Okay, I'm pretty much done, but I do want to say this. The last thing that comes up here that I was recently asked, and that clients ask me all the time, is, okay, how do I stop worrying about it? How do I stop worrying about money? How do I stop stressing? How do I stop worrying about signing another client when I have a bill, right? You stop stressing about it when you have the realization that I've had of every single time I've stressed about something, it has never gotten better. It's only stayed the same or gotten worse. So you will stop stressing when you realize that there is absolutely no point in stressing, right? It's like, think of stress as something you do. It's like if you were allergic to chocolate, God forbid, right? And you love chocolate, it tastes delicious, but every time you eat it, your entire body breaks out in this weird rash and your throat starts closing up, okay? Similar to stress sometimes. You can keep eating it if you want, but the same shit's gonna happen and it's probably just gonna keep getting worse, right? Especially if you keep eating the chocolate in one sitting. Stress is the same way. You can choose to stop. So how do you do it? It's the same thing with chocolate. If you're starving, right? And there's chocolate, okay? You can eat the chocolate, but you're gonna break out in a rash and your throat's gonna close up. And you won't die, but it's gonna be shitty and it's not gonna be worth it ever. And it's not gonna solve anything. It's not gonna solve the chocolate craving. It's not gonna make you not hungry, right? So you eat something else. So if you wanna stop stressing, do something else. So easy. And it's gonna be hard because this is silly, but it's hard because stress is something that happens in our mind and you can turn it off. You actually literally can. You can turn thoughts off and you can turn them on, but that takes a lot of practice. So one place to really start is finding your best distractions. So one thing that really distracts me is watching something funny, especially if it's like romantic comedy, something I like, right? Like a genre I like. Reading a book, no, that does not distract me. I am thinking like a mofo while I'm reading, right? Taking a nap, going to bed does not distract me. I don't know why, but if I'm stressed about something, I dream about it and I hear it in my head while I sleep. Crazy, but it's true. One thing that really distracts me is turning on something on Netflix, turning the volume up way too loud, and watching it for hours. And sometimes I have to do that to get the stress to subside, to get the thoughts to quiet down. Working out does that for me too. For some of you, it may not. Working out may not do that, but I do think there's a science behind that. Finding things that totally distract you, even if it's taking away from your business, it will help you make more money because stress is keeping you from money, all of it, okay? I wanted to touch on that because I think a lot of people are like, how do I stop stressing? That sounds impossible. Some people truly believe to not stress is impossible. And maybe it is. You will always stress a little. Like, I'll probably get off this live stream and be stressed that people didn't like it or something, right? Like, that happens to me all the time. But then I just have to move on. And I know that's not true, but I'm still stressed. And if I just let myself sit there and freak out about it, this is kind of not as a serious example, but whatever, right? Then whatever, you have to just stop. Worrying is like praying for what you don't want. A quote I heard from my first coach. So good, Tina. I'm so glad you shared that. Worrying is totally like poison. Netflix. Yep, exactly. Okay, cool. Glad you guys like that. I actually might go on my business page and live stream in like I don't know, 10 or 20 minutes. I'm like weird today. I feel like live streaming. I have something else I really want to live stream on. Not promising, so just check over there in a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna go. If you guys have follow-up questions to this, if you have stories after listening to some things that manifest, if any, because I know some of other people on here are just manifesting geniuses, so if you have anything to share in the comments for people, feel free. Because it's so great to be able to follow some people that know what they're talking about here. So anyway, bye everybody.